Good morning, road runners. This is Time of Hope, and today I'd like to share the Darlingtonia californica, which is this particular plant. There's a very weird smell in the air, and I'll tell you why, because this is the only carnivorous plant. I think I'm not sure if it's only Oregon. It might be in the US. I need to read my facts again. But this is a natural preserve area. And they have this beautiful dock just so you can view this particular species of carnivorous plants. Fascinating. So what happens in that bright red section that you see, the insects are attracted to that, and then they'll climb into this this curved section that you see there. But once they're there, it's all downhill from there. Then they are devoured and, and fed on. Interesting. It's a fascinating plant. But I was thinking of how when we are faced with decisions that we have to make about behaviors or habits or whatever, things that we are faced with, like what we watch, what we put into our bodies, like I've heard a lot of people say stuff like, oh, there's nothing wrong with, drinking a little bit, of this or of that. We're talking about alcohol, of course. And I think it's, those kinds of vices are kind of like what the Darlingtonia do. They attract, it might be something that you enjoy for a little bit, but then reality hits is that, you have to deal with consequences. And unfortunately for many people, the consequences of those decisions in their lives, where they end up just suffering a great deal. Here's a little bit of the information of how, look, you see those yellow and red petals that are the attractor there? Fascinating. I'm sure you probably won't get to read all of that, but anyway, that's where I got some of my information. And the spiritual point we want to leave with you today is be careful. Be careful with the choices you make, the company you keep, the things you watch on your phone, on the streaming services. Give yourself an opportunity to live a healthier and fulfilling life. That, all of us will eventually have our moment where we will deal with the reality of life and of death. But do your part so it's not ahead of the game. Do your part so you will live. And that reminds me of a verse. And I know it's in Deuteronomy. I just don't remember the exact chapter and text, but it says, I have placed before you life and death. And then God is like insistent. Choose life. And that's what I want to share with you today. Choose life. It's so easy to get trapped in not only in places, but in just habits and an array of things that are damaging to you, to your soul. And it's not the best place to be. And I'm sure you've seen people, or you know people, and that have made those kinds of choices. And unfortunately, it only takes just a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, it only takes just a little wedge for evil to make its way into your space, into your heart, into your mind. So it is my hope that every day you ask God to protect you, to guide you, and to help you and give you the strength of mind and soul to make the best decisions you possibly can, so you can live a fulfilling life, and you will grow like these trees. There's a psalm that says that you will, probably it's a proverb, that you will live like a tree planted next to water that gives its fruit in due time, and its leaf does not fall. And what that means is that you can trust that you will be blessed in God's hands. My dear Roadrunners, remember that there is always hope. Blessings. See you soon.